You see students, it is 18 days 12 end chapter question. 18 days 12, 13, 14, 15, 20, 21, 22. This spreadsheet will cover from 1812 to 1822. In the end chapter, the question asked there, same came as market share will increase by 0.25%. In the PowerPoint, we have increased the market share by 1%. But there in the question, it is increased by 0.25%. Yeah, you can see here. Here in the slide number 25, the market share increased from 10 to 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. That means every year 1% increase in market share. In the question number 18-12, the growth is 0.25% per year. Then what will be the growth? Very simple, 10%. And here it is equal to the original growth plus 0.25%. And all right, so this is the way the growth is being. Now market share will grow at 0.25% per year. Very good. Now production volume is equal to what? Production volume is always equal to market size multiplied by market share. Enter. And just go on. Next is average price. Price is given in the question. So question number 18-12 is finished. Now come to 18-13. The company is giving you the information that if the number of unit increases 11,000, it needs additional investment of 20 million. In the previous, in the PowerPoint, the 11,000 is achieved in the year 2018 itself. That's why we need to make a investment in 2018. But here, 11,000 is achieved, 1100 is achieved in 2018. So 2017 there is no investment. Production volume is 1158. So here you can see the production volume increased here 1323 because 1% increase every year. But here 0.25%. So the production volume here is 1000, 1076 like that. Now selling price is given. Let's go to the next question. Next question is given that determine that the plant will require an expansion in 2018. The expansion will cost 20 million. We already discussed this point. The company needs additional investment of 20 million. And the 20 million will be raised by issuing 10-year bond. And the bond interest rate is 6.8%. Now, let us do it. 4,500 is the outstanding debt of 2016. Given in the question we have seen in the PowerPoint. Now 2017 also 4,500. Why? Because here 2018 the investment will be done. Therefore, in 2018 the existing debt was 4,500. New debt issued 20,000. So that opening balance for 2019 debt will be 24,500. Okay. Now borrowing, interest on borrowing. Interest on borrowing is very clear. Interest on borrowing is equal to 6.8% multiplied by 6.8%, we will keep it as F4 fixed, multiplied by the loan outstanding. For the first year, same amount we will take, but for the 2017, interest is equal to 6.8% fixed multiplied by the previous year's balance. Enter. And for 2018 also the same. For 2018 also 306, 6.8% on 4,500 previous 2018 interest is equal to 6.8% multiplied by outstanding 2017. But 2019 interest will be equal to the total debt of 2018, that is 20,000 plus 4,500, 24,500 multiplied by 6.8%. Enter. And the same will continue till the end. Okay, so enter, and okay, so till the end the same amount will continue. Now, as I said you, when I calculated the interest, simply make it a habit. This is my habit. When I calculate interest, at the same time I calculate the ITS, interest tax saved. Why? Because always interest is saving the tax. So therefore, simply we can calculate interest tax saved, and the tax rate is 6.8%. Tax rate is 35%. I know. So what I will do? Interest tax saved is equal to the interest multiplied by the tax rate will be equal to interest tax saved. I calculated the interest tax saved. Now, depreciation given in the question from 2016 to 2021 given in the question. Come to the 18-14 now. 18-14 gives you the revised depreciation from 2016 to 2021. Calculate the income statement. Very simple. Calculate the sales first. How you will calculate the sales first? Sales is equal to, come on, sales is equal to, go back to the production volume, that is the product's total market share is 10,000, or simply we can take this one, the production volume we calculated, the company's production, KMS production will be 1000 in 2016, multiplied by selling price in 2016 will be equal to the revenue. And once you do that, just go Control R, you will get the sales. Cost, you know, 70%, 78% of the cost is 78% of the sales is cost. So this is equal to minus the revenue multiplied by 78%. And once you do that, extend it. Same like you will now get the EBITDA. Deduct the depreciation. Depreciation given here, put it. Depreciation is equal to the amount given here, 5492, 5443, like that. You get the EBIT. Minus interest, you have calculated here interest, put it. Pre-tax income, minus tax, 35%. So you will get the net income. So we forecasted the net income statement from 2016 to 2021. Now come to the 18-15. 18-15 says the working capital, increase in working capital requirement. What is the working capital requirement? We have seen in the PowerPoint. Working capital requirement is given here. PowerPoint is telling you working capital requirement, no change. Same rate we will take. Here is the working capital requirement. 16% of sales is cash. 19% of sales is receivable. 20% of sales is inventory. 16% of sales is equal to payable. Do that. So receivable is equal to 19% of the sales. 19% multiplied by sales. Sales is how much? 74,890. Enter. And once you do that, inventory is equal to 20% of the sales. 20% of the sales. Enter. Cash 16% of the sales. Like that, total current asset is equal to sum of receivable, inventory, cash. Now payables. Payable is equal to 16% of the sales. And total current liability, no more current liability is there, so total current liability calculated. Net working capital, current asset minus current liability is equal to net working capital. Current asset minus current liability is equal to net working capital. So once you do this, just extend right, you will get your answer. Increase in net working capital. Increase in net working capital is equal to this year's net working capital minus previous year's net working capital. Enter. Once you do this, extend this. Next is what? You have now, see, everything now you calculated. We will now calculate the unlevered net income. Unlevered income, net income added with after tax interest is equal to unlevered income. Once you get the unlevered income, add the depreciation, deduct the change in working capital, deduct the capital expenditure. All we have, so calculate the free cash flow. Next turn is calculate the free cash flow. Free cash flow is equal to, first you calculate the net income. Enter. Next is after tax interest expenses. We were calculating there. After tax interest expenses. How you calculate that? Is equal to, you have interest here minus you have interest tax shield here. Enter. After tax interest expenses. Do it for the rest of the columns. See, once 1 year if you do, then forecasting becomes just like this. Then you get the, add both of them, you get the net income plus after tax interest expenses is equal to unlevered income. As I said you, first calculate the unlevered income because we are doing capital budgeting. Then add back the depreciation. Then you just increase in the net working capital. Then deduct the capital expenditure. Capital expenditure is how much? Regular capital expenditure is 5,000 for 16 and 17. From 18 to 21, regular expenditure is 8,000. In 18, you made additional expenditure of 20,000. So in 2018, the capital expenditure is 28,000. Calculate the free cash flow. Once you get the free cash flow, we will make the valuation. But before doing the valuation, we have a EBITDA multiple of 8.5. So calculate the EBITDA from 2016 to 2021. EBITDA is there. Where EBITDA you get? Where you get the EBITDA? EBITDA is equal to net. Go to the income statement. You have the EBITDA here. Enter. Then go through the other columns. Then EBITDA multiple is equal to the last year's EBITDA multiplied by 8.5, isn't it? Last year's EBITDA multiplied by 8.5, like price earning PE multiple. Similarly, EBITDA multiple, so 8.5 will give you the EBITDA multiple. So the terminal value, see, you are forecasting from 2016 to 2021, but the company will not close in 2021, right? So we make the terminal value. So the terminal value in 2021 is 222,373. Now make the free cash flow. How you do that? Free cash flow from 2016 to 2021 you calculated just here 7631 to 7611. Bring here. Then enterprise value, the terminal value, just you calculate, put it here. Calculate the present value. Calculate the present value. How you calculate the present value?
Doctor, if you allow me.
Yeah.
Can you repeat how to calculate the terminal value?
Okay, you see. You are doing here just this is equal to the ending, whatever is the EBITDA in the last year, 2021, EBITDA is 26,162 multiplied by the terminal value given here, EBITDA multiple is 8.5, multiply by 8.5. Enter. So it will be the terminal value. Hope clear? Now let us calculate the NPV is equal to NPV. Rate it is asking, rate is 10%. Rate is 10%. Now value. Value, you see here different unusual values are there. First is the beginning value never we take, we edit at last. So we will leave the beginning value. From where to where we will take, the normal value ranges from here to here, comma. This one plus this one. This one is the last year's present value, the last year's free cash flow. This one is the terminal value, and bracket close. Plus the beginning value we have not taken. Enter is equal to 151,224. You see 151,224. This is the way we do the present value of the farm. So let me just stop the recording here. So up to 1822 we have taken here.